Good news, Blanche one's great. Real great. So I got Artemis, our 68 Pontiac ambulance. It's in the glass shop getting a back window put in. So I thought, well, we need to start getting this Ranchero ready. We got 2 weeks. So I crawled underneath. Transmission's leaking. We knew that. I was going to fix it. Well, the bell housing is cracked. You know? Never a dull friggin' moment around here. This is my GoPro because I don't want to get my nice camera involved in this because this is going to get pretty nasty. I'm not very happy. I do have a C6. It's not built. I don't know anything about it. And I have a friend that also has a C6. Problem is, if I'm going to go do all that, I got to get a shifter. I have to get a torque converter. I have to get many things just to make this work. And this is the car that Zeppy picked. He wanted to take his car, so let's just get after it. Maybe I'll let me show you. But you know, by the way, I got to be up in 6 hours to get to work trucking. Got 2 weeks, basically 2 weekends and Memorial Weekend. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on a Sunday for extra money because none of this is free. And that way I'm off Monday. I can really scream into this thing. Let me show you the crack. So I first noticed, see, that's leaking so bad. I was just going to take this loose, and you can take down your whole system there and you can get to that bolt, pull them out and fix it. Well, then I looked here and you can see right here that crack goes all the way to there, and you go on the other side of the exhaust and it goes all the way up right here, and right here where the shifting linkage hooks, and it goes all the way up into there. If it was just down here, I'd take it somewhere and have them weld it. The hell with it, we're done. Nope. This is coming out for the last damn time. I have had this transmission, this FMX. This is the second one I've had in here. But everything should line right the hell up. I do have another drive shaft, but I'm pretty sure these shafts will interchange with the C6. It's the C4 that's different. So let me get that drive shaft out of there. This thing will start draining all over the frickin' ground if I don't get something underneath. Oh look, it rusted more down here. I ain't been under here for a while. So let's start taking her apart. Wasn't Zeppy wanting to take this car so bad. There ain't no friggin' way. I'd be done with this in a second. Ain't no way. We got that on there tight. And damn, that's nothing. Oh, that's great. So as lean back as this car is, that shit should be pouring out of there. It's great. That's just great. Onward. Didn't realize it had it right on the damn door. 273 rear gear in this 9-inch open differential. Of course, you know, I can't have a freaking posi track. So if I put a 2500 stall in her, 273 gear, cruise pretty good. Just won't sit here and do this to you and bring all the girls to the yard with my milkshake. But I don't have a choice here. We got to get this sucker out and put a C6 in it somehow. Okay, so I've been hard at it under there. All the transmission bolts are out, torque converter bolts are out, starter's out of it. Took the exhaust off the sides. I don't even want to deal with that shit. So I got everything off except the top 2 bolts of the transmission and the side bolts on the cross member. Other than that, you're ready to come out. Trying to decide if I want to do that tonight or not, make a mess. Trying to decide what to do, honestly. If we just want to try to find a bell housing. I found one, and it's actually on my way to and from where I'm going tomorrow. Do I just want to fix the bell housing, fix that seal, and go? Because if I get into used C6s, we don't know what we got. We know this one runs, drives, shifts. It just leaks. And it has cracked bell housing. So I can get the seals for it, stick it all back together with that bell housing. I hate to take this thing out and just stick it back together without putting some kind of torque converter in it, because otherwise you're just sitting there bucking at the damn light. I know I've said that a million times, but I don't know. Let me think about this. Well, I'm gonna have to order a converter, and I'm gonna have to do it freaking fast because it needs to get here by the weekend. Because I'm not doing all this and then putting that sumbitch back in there with that stock converter. I'm just not doing it. And it's 11 o'clock. I gotta be on the road at 3. This is how it goes, guys. I'm so tired, but I'm gonna stop now. All I got left to do is those 2 bolts and the cross member. To do the C6, I gotta change all kinds of stuff, the drive shaft, everything, and I don't have that kind of time, so I'll see you tomorrow. So as you can see from that footage, this was just gonna be a quick drop the pan, get underneath, finagle my way through to get that seal changed, you know, get a U-joint on it, stuff like that. I didn't have to take it apart. Of course, the bell housing's cracked because it's me. I mean, it's me. I've only had the transmission out 5 friggin' times. So why not one more a week and a half from Power Tour while I'm still fiddle farting around with that damn Pontiac, which I did figure out, by the way. But I gotta get the trans out. I got it completely loose. It's ready to go except for the top 2 trans bolts on the bell housing and the cross member bolts. I'm gonna get them off, and then I'll get you down in there and we'll pull that transmission out of there. If you want to see this, you can, you know, go, where is it? Over here, something like that. What? It's over here. Anyway, I'm gonna get this trans out of here. A little more dance. Should be away, unless I'm missing something. Do you see anything? Y'all see anything? I don't. Whoa, no fall on my face. Ow. Yeah, maybe I should have moved the camera, but I didn't. Now, in order to get this thing out of here, I'm gonna have to take the bell housing off where it sits. So, pull it forward a little bit. These, I believe, are 3/4. I know I got a 3/4 out here. What to do with it? I don't have it. It's on the other side. All right, let's get this bell housing off. There's 1, 2. Booyah! Get out of the way. That shit out of the way. Okay. Alright, let me grab this stuff for you. Let me show you what we're dealing with. Yeah. So, here's the bell housing. Dixie Ray! And this is where I saw the first crack. And it is cracked all the way up along here to right here. And then it's beginning to crack right here. That's why it has to go. But, good news is, it's not all the way through.
Hey, stay tuned for another Fox body.
It is not cracked all the way through, so I am going to take this to my neighbor down the street, and I'm going to have him fix this, because I tell you what, these ain't just laying around every place you go. they're hard to find. The one I have actually came from Cincinnati on another transmission. So we'll hold on to that. It's not bad. We'll just get this crack fixed if we can. And it'll be worth it because who knows, I might need another one. Maybe. Alright, I gotta pull that transmission out from underneath that car. This is gonna be fun. O-ring that's not in there. Oh, it's on there. It's just dry. Ha! Okay. And then this is the fun part. Push the jack back, pull the trans forward, or I guess I could just use the wood. Or not. Oh, somebody, I tell you what, instead of you wanting another car, how about you buy me a shop?
Yeah, whatever.
For your old dad.
This man will not help me. Child abuse.
Yeah. Child abuse, because I don't want another.
There's a Fox body Mustang that's in perfect, almost perfect condition for $4,000. $4,000.
I have a week and a half left for Power Tour, and this shithead comes over wanting me to spend money on a Fox body.
It's not. I'll pay you back. It's not like
sure,
it's.
There it was.
It's not like.
There it was. I'll pay you back, Dad.
Come on, it's so cheap. So everybody wants 10 grand for something like. It comes with a motor and a transmission, and it runs.
All right.
5-speed.
I can tell you is right now, this front pump is leaking. Look at that. That's not cool. This is leaking and the front pump. So we're going to change this seal. And I'm going to nicely take this off and we're going to goop it because good luck finding that seal. Boomba! Basically, you got to take your valve body off and this off to get down to this little nut in here, and I'll show you the nut when we get further down. But you just kind of got to be careful. Things will pop out if you're not careful. They have springs, and it is what it is, and I hope we don't ruin any gaskets. Shouldn't. Most of the time these don't go bad. That should be it. This come up first. Oh yeah. This has got to come out. That isn't. There we go. Oh, that's metal to metal, no gasket. That's cool.
That's not good.
Why?
How is it
Pop
supposed
that out
to?
of there. Most of the time, it just, you know, they just need metal to metal. Everything's made so compact that it'll just, I mean, it seals. That nut right there has to come off, and it's just a little 9/16, and then this big one right here, I believe, is a 3/4 or a 13/16, but we might be able to just get to it. I think we can. I really hate to take everything off. That shit just sucks. But, I mean, if we have to, we have to. I'd rather not. Alright, let me get a wrench. Here's your kick down. So, there's a little O-ring in here. There used to be. There should still be some remnants, you'd think.
Are you gonna replace it?
Yep. Right there. By the way, this thing's never been into. Oh yeah, it's hard as a rock. We got that one. But this little pawl right here, you want to call it, goes on this. That's your kick down right there. And it looks like we might be able to get to this without having to get too crazy. We just got to be careful here because there is a spring. Now what size is that? This is a 1/2 inch. This is 9/16. How much bigger are we talking? We're talking huge. All right, let me get a wrench. Ooh, it's bigger than that. Of course, that ain't gonna fit. Wonder if I can get a short socket in there. See if this will come loose. Oh, yeah. I think it did. Yep, it sure did. If I get my fat little fingers in here.
That's why you need Zeppy here to grab that.
Yeah, right.
This tiny ass thing.
This thing's sharp. If you're not real careful, man, the inside transmissions are sharp. They're specifically made that well. I think this is it, just this lock nut. I should be able to just yank that out of there and you just change the gasket. I'll show you the gasket. So here's the locking nut. It's a cool thread. You gotta be real careful here to not do that.
Oh, you gotta be real careful, something's broke.
Yep, pretty much. That's what just happened. No. And there's your shift shaft. Now down in there, this just comes up and it sits like that. It just fell down. It's fine. Yep, all good. That's just your servo thing. And, not servo, what the hell am I talking about? And that just sits like that right there. So you just pull it up and it's on a spring down in there. But the seal we're looking for is right here.
God, my legs. You can zoom in, right? Because my legs.
Yeah, I might have to get a puller. That's taut.
Don't hit me with that.
Oh yeah, hard as a rock. It's just leaking out the sides. Cool beans. Just get her cleaned up and put some grease or Vaseline or something on there. And then we'll just start putting her back together. But that's it. This little sumbitch right here was causing a whole lot of oil. What happens is
dry rotting or something.
Well, yeah, they dry rot, but after a while, torque converters, they'll bleed back into the transmission. So when you check it after you've run it a while, yeah, it may say full, but then some of that will go back in the transmission after you don't drive it for a while. Backflows. And then the level of the transmission fluid raises, and it gets to the point where it's on that seal. If that seal's bad, it'll just pour out the son of a bitch. But, you know, when you're driving for a while, it won't leak. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's something that happens a lot. But the other thing we got to do is we got to take this front pump off, because it is not sealing. Please do not ruin. I hope to hell I did not ruin the gasket, because I don't have another one, and they are not easy to come by.
You're gonna have to order it.
Oh yeah. And then, you know,
Story of our lives here.
Yeah. Then I'm just sitting with my finger up my ass because there's nothing else I can do.
Unless you drive a Chevy, you're not gonna get any parts ever.
Yeah. You can go to IGA and get Chevy parts.
Yeah.
IGA, for you folks, that's a grocery store. You used to be able to buy all kinds of stuff at the grocery stores. Place some seals. Everything looks really good in here.
Yeah, it does. It's shiny.
Yeah, it looks like it lived a good life so far, since it was sitting on the shelf at Stutzman's since the freaking Reagan administration, from what they told me. And this just pops off. Seal is intact, but it was leaking.
Yep.
Teeth look good. Everything looks good. We'll just clean this off make sure this screw is tight. That's what holds it together. We'll change this seal. All the gears look great. Just need cleaned off. And then we'll throw some goop on it. Take my guaranteed clean rag. Actually, that seal's pretty good. Good and terrible. Okay, let me get my seals. Okay, the old seal out. It was junk. Went ahead and took the whole pump apart. Pretty simple, really. Here, let me show you. It's not in there that far. There is some wear in there, but we ain't worried about that. There was no metal or anything like that. Basically, this is just sits in here like this. Then this sits in here like this. There is no timing or anything of that nature. And then this goes up in there like that, and then your shaft goes through. It's a simple pump. Good Lord, try to find parts cheap for these. There's a reason people switch to C6. And if I had the time and a little bit more time to put into it, I'd probably do it too. But I'm thinking that I'm going to go ahead and rebuild one of these on the channel. Got it cross-threaded. There. Now I got to clean it back up. I hate wasting my hand cleaner this way. Okay, so he did absolutely nothing to help me. Got the bottom all back together. It's all tight. Didn't show much of it. I'm in a hurry. Gonna head to AutoZone and grab a seal because that's the only one in town who has one, and it's Memorial Day. And they have one. So let's be extra careful. We'll be right back.
Well, what happened? You got the evidence?
Yeah, just tightening them up, stugging them up, and it decided to break off in it.
Oh, nice. Yep. Yep.
So, back apart she goes. Welcome to Irish Outlaw Garage. You're guaranteed it's gonna f up whether you do it right or not. And I even did it right. Didn't even try to over torque it. So now, we gotta see how far in there this is. Hopefully, not far.
Hell yeah. It can't be easy. Cannot be easy.
And it's all over. Oh. You getting that?
Yeah, he's getting it.
Easy out fingers.
Lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. So this one broke. These two started to break. Look at it. I felt it. Pulled them back out. Luckily, I had the original bolts from the other transmission and one of these. So I got 3 from the old transmission and one of these. And the reason I put these in this and not the other ones was because these looked like they were in better shape. Nope, they're not. No, I did not over torque them. But they're junk. So transmission, I didn't do nothing.
Barely turned them.
I barely turned them. You got to be real careful with that shit. So anyway, that's that. I didn't realize you can still see the writing from a 73 Merc. This came out of it, was sitting on the shelf since 1983, and it works just fine. But we are going to swap this probably at some time to a C6. But all right, let me get her underneath there, and we'll start working on getting. Got to put the dipstick tube in inside, underneath, get it up on the jack, which is fun because it weighs 5,000 pounds. And then I got a torque converter for this, so let me get it all set up. There's the new, what are these called again?
I don't know what the it's called.
This is called a bell housing. This is the new one. Newish, new to me. It's in good shape. So I'm gonna get this stuck on, then I gotta get the torque converter under there, then I gotta flush those lines. But I'm gonna try to keep going here. Get this line flushed. Making a mess today. And we're good. She's all white. Buy this shit at O'Reilly's, but you gotta go behind the counter, okay? I keep that shit because I do a lot of transmissions, as you well know and see, and you got to do that. You have to. Do not swap transmissions or new torque converter or anything like that without it. Just blow out the remnants. Oh, right in the eyeball. That burns like a motherfucker.
I'm confused. Are you talking to yourself? Oh.
Go turn the damn air compressor on for me. Okay, so here is our new torque converter. I believe this one is a 2500 stall, or I can't remember. It might be 22 to 2800. Can't remember. But Boss Hog, this is ACC Performance. Now, I didn't know what to do about a torque converter because there's limited amounts out there for an FMX. Lots out there for C6, TH400, TH350, all those, you know, but not for the FMX. And with this camshaft in this car, it's needed this the whole time. So let me show you the original. That'd be this big bastard right here, big 12-inch honking, you know, it's still good, there's nothing wrong with it, so I'm not going to get rid of it. But we needed something a little more for this car. So I believe this is a 10-inch Boss Hog. And I actually called ACC Performance because I don't know much about these. And Nelson Gills is the owner. Former, I believe he worked for the Navy. He knows all kinds of shit about oil, and you ask him, he knows, trust me. And this isn't, you know, one of them situations where it's like, oh, he's a know-it-all. No, he really does know his stuff. If you want to have an interesting conversation, you know how I've always said don't use Rotella in flat tappet engines, even though I was duped too? Call up ACC Performance and ask for Nelson. Ask him about Rotella and which oil you should be using in your flat tappet camshafts, okay? I'm telling you. Wonderful person, had a great conversation, texting back and forth. His daughter's 11 years old, has a YouTube channel. If I can remember the name of it, I got it written down somewhere. I'll put it in the comment, you know, down in the description, or maybe on the screen. We'll see. But she's 11 years old and she's a master welder already. I mean, these are smart people, so I'm gonna listen. Okay, he told me this is what I need. He also told me that all the house brand stuff, like your Type F and your different Dextron Mercons, are all basically made by the same company.
You don't want my advice.
Yeah, you don't take his advice because he's an idiot. So we're gonna get this thing loaded up with some ATF. It takes about a quart. I'm gonna squirt some in there on that bushing, and then we'll make sure we got some here. It's already greased up pretty good. They do a good job. But nice thing is, unlike normal Ford, here, let me show you. So if you look at this right here, Fords have their studs sticking out. So you have to have this thing perfectly damn near aligned to get these in the holes of the flex plate when you stick the transmission in it, or you stick the motor in it. It's a pain in the ass. Well, Nelson and folks down there, they got rid of that trouble. Anyway, you just take a grade 8 bolt, about 3/4 of an inch, and it bolts up perfectly. One thing I am going to do, I'm going to crawl underneath there and put this up against my flex plate and just, you know, be sure that it's going to fit on this thing, okay? So I'll get back to you when I get it full, and I'm going to stick it on in there. Okay, so that only took 45 minutes for it to take a whole quart, but that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I had some other shit to do around here because, you know, the boy can't work on his own crap. Everything should be ready. I'm going to put that torque converter in there and then that transmission up in there. She's ready to go. She's installed. Just got to fill it up. I did find that the front U-joint on that drive shaft is bad also, but that's an easy pop in, pop out. I say that. Now I'm going to do what was told to me. I'm going to put a quart of no slip in there, or whatever that shit is. Lucas, that's what he told me. So that's that quart. So I'm going to get this thing off its jacks. Oh, man, I got to put the exhaust pipes on yet. Okay, let me do that. Okay, put 6 quarts in, 1 quart of the slip, 5 quarts of regular. That's 1 in the torque converter, 5 in the pan. Normally I think these things take like 10 or 12 or 11 or something, but that we don't have that big ass torque converter. I put 6 in it. Well, let's fire it up and see what I screwed up. See what happens. I scared the shit out of myself. I seen some on the side by the starter. It was coming down, it was getting on everything, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I spilled a whole bunch of that non-slip, and that shit moved slow. And it got down there and dripped, but I think we're good. Definitely got to fix that exhaust leak, because holy shit, does that stink. Look at that, bright ass light. Y'all need one of them. Anyway, now I can crank up the idle a little better. I can tune this thing in, but I gotta let her cool down before I do any of that shit, because that took a little bit of doing, but we got it. Or should I say I got it and you handed me tools. Yep. Anyway, let's let her cool down. Okay, so I got everything kind of spiffed up there. I gotta call O'Reilly's about a gasket that goes between this little heat riser thing that ain't there. It's like a, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But these pipes are absolutely horrid and rotted. They're just rotted. Down inside here, they're rotted in here. Some on the main pipe, because there's only one live pipe. But what I did is they're still leaking. But I took bands. I basically cut off what they had. And I got in a hurry, my battery went dead, but I cut off what they had, and then I just put a band clamp in there, because all they did was they had it where this slid into there, and it had a little clamp on that pipe, and I had some band clamps, I just 4-inch, and they still leak. I mean, we'll fire her up. She'll fire right up. At least they won't fall off, you know? Sounds good under there. Most of the noise is coming out of there. This is crooked. Just the way it's going to have to be. Good enough, man. That's all I cared about. Now I just got to do some tuning, some timing stuff, but I don't know if my neighbors will appreciate me running this stuff. It's too long, it's loud. So, I don't know. We'll see. Well guys, it's 11 o'clock at night. My neighbors don't want to hear me running this anymore. I did get the thing tuned in pretty good. Check the timing. She's about 36 total. I didn't touch it. That's where I had it before, and that's with the vacuum advance hooked up to ported. Idle's about 900. That's where she likes it. I mean, it is a hog-ass cam. I'm sure everybody would love to hear it down, you know, in the bit of it. We got to worry about drivability, not really sound. I guess when we're driving around, you know, the stuff, we can crank her down to about 500 RPMs, because she will do it. She'll get down to about 350 and just sit there and plop, 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 plop. But drivability in that situation is shit. So I'm not going to pull this thing down again until I get a U-joint in it. Now, maybe I'll get home in time tomorrow to get a U-joint. I'm going to lose fluid. That's how it goes. I'm going to have to buy more Type F. Okay. Unless I can clean something up enough that I could reuse it. But I do have, I believe, another quart or half a quart. I got a half quart. Whatever. O'Reilly's makes more. But, yeah. I got to fix a headlight, check the brakes. Okay. Okay. It took me all day, but I got it. And also today I figured out Artemis's problem. That shit'll be in Wednesday. Okay. We just might make it. I'll see it tomorrow or something. It'll be the next day. I'm not stopping the video here. Okay. By the way, thanks Lugnut guys for everything. Thanks Super Clean for everything. Thank Buzz at roadkillcustoms.com for everything that he has done for me. And of course Strikehold. I think you can still get some like free shipping if you use the promo code of Irish 10. I haven't got any for a while. I need to. I'm about out. But anyway, up next with this U-joint, clean her up, and I got some Poppy's patina coming up. So hang tight. Don't go nowhere. It's just getting interesting because we still got to drive it, and it would sit there at 1,000 RPM. You could put it in drive and it would just sit there. No, you know, milkshakes to the yard. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Hey, welcome back. If you're in the video watching mood, I'm doing that one and this one at the same time because I've got basically a week before power tour, week and a half, something like that. So what I'm doing today on this, is we already got it running and everything, is I went ahead and got me another U-joint. We're gonna pop that drive shaft out of there. We're gonna put this U-joint in the front because it was kind of iffy, and I don't want iffy. I want go, stop, go, stop, go, stop without any problems. Then we're gonna get into this. We're gonna warm it up, change the oil. You don't want to see me change the oil. It's fine. I've changed it one other time since I built the engine. It's been fine, but I'm gonna work on the timing a little bit. I know I got the right jets in it. Might change up a few things. I don't know. I don't want to change too much because this car runs really good. This transmission sucked. It leaked. I put a piece of cardboard underneath there. It ain't leaking anymore. That's great. So let me get under there, get this drive shaft out, spill a bunch of my damn Type F that I just put in it, and we'll get the new U-joint in it. Okay, Blanche, let's see what you look like now. A little fire. Before the neighbors go to bed. Ain't that some shit? Junk mother. Alright, let me get this changed out real quick. So luckily, I'm in no shortage of these little bastards. Watch. Junk. We'll put this one on, try again. One reason I like HEI is their ease of operation and maintenance. the vacuum advance screws down right here. There went my screwdriver, it's gone. So this, you can just roll under like that, get it up through, and then ease her back and put your screws in. That's it. You can change this, you can change the module, you got your springs right up top, all your counterweight system is all up top, everything. Your wiring, everything is here. So you don't have to go, you know, doing a full course search and rescue, and pretty much every parts store known to man has these damn things. You know, I'm gonna do that off camera. I don't want to screw up them wires. So this one's actually one of the better distributors right here. So let me get that all back together and we'll try again. Okay, so I got it all switched out, it's all back together. I think I probably ought to get me a new cap for this too. Just checking the hose, make sure everything's good. I'm gonna have Zeppy fire his car up and we'll just go from there. Need cleaned out, figure out for a run here after a bit. So that's what's left of our pan drain bolt gasket, and it's 8:30. We got to get moving. We'll go grab one. We'll be right back. Okay, so we got the drain plug thing. We got her down on the ground. Zeppy's gonna throw 5 quarts of Valvoline VR1. Why do we use VR1? Because it is built for these old flat tappet engines. Again, I have no problem, not an issue with Rotella. Never have. It's not good for the motor. Not these old ones. Even with this flat tappet newer cam in here especially. Good Lord. Zeppy's gonna try to pour that in there. And I told him if he spills it, he has to do yard work and dishes for a month. Why not? Come on, buddy, get her in there. That's pretty heavy. Let me get some of it in there. That's a long way for him, so.
Yeah, it goes up.
Especially when he's in his jammies. Now I put some in the filter, but not a bunch because it's a Ford, it sits at an angle. But I always like to. I don't like putting a filter in dry. I just don't. I don't know if it's just old school or what. Maybe my dad put it in my brain. But especially on ones like the Pontiac or Chevy where it's straight up and down. Absolutely. I even put it in the Buick and the AMC and they're sideways. I don't care if I spill a little bit. I do not want a dry filter. I think Blanche was going to like this BR1. I can't remember what I put it in last time. I think it was Rotella because it was on sale, and then I just put a thing of whatchamacallit in it, zinc, Lucas.
Oil treatment.
This way you don't have to put all that crap in there at all. I don't give a damn what YouTuber says what. Don't just use Rotella. Well, a few things I've learned. Oil leak fixed. But Blanche no like vacuum advance. I tried a ton of different adjustments like I did before, and you would shut it off and go to try to start it and it would backfire. That canister was bad, and that was the only thing that kept this thing running really good. I'm done for tonight. The neighbors are already going to be pissed, but I did take out the PCV valve because that was also causing me some trouble. So I'm going to look into that too, but you know, I got home pretty early today. Hopefully I'll do the same tomorrow. But we'll keep going on it. It's one damn thing after another. Zeppy's out here watching me work, and he don't know what to do because I'm having all these timing issues with both the cars. Got one fixed. Now this one's doing the same damn thing, kind of, sort of. I'm going to have to find it. I'll have to find this problem. Anyway, I'll be back. Alright, so here we are. 1 week exactly from when we leave for power tour. Artemis is up on blocks. Don't even get me started. Anyway, a few things we need to do to this. It's got a vacuum leak. Very specific vacuum leak. Very similar to what was going on with Artemis. So I've got a new spacer for this carb. I've got just little things I need to do up here. Did notice the power steering's leaking. I don't care. It can leak. But we do have a vacuum leak. You can hear it when it comes up and down. And I don't want to piss off the neighbors this early in the morning. It's Sunday. You walk over and squeeze that PCV valve hose, the idle will go down. Okay, when you have a vacuum leak, usually the idle will come up, or if it's so bad, it'll kill the engine, you know. This one's it's bad. So there's only a few places that this thing could be leaking as far as, you know, a vacuum leak. Your booster, I've already checked that, it's not leaking. Base of the carburetor, already checked that, it's not leaking. But this intake has the provision for the EGR valve on the back. Okay, so it can be sucking air from anything that has a gasket leak or anything. Intake, it's all good, so we're clear on that. But if it isn't sucking from the bottom of the crankcase, getting those fumes and that in, that PCV valve is not doing its job. PCV valve is basically a metered vacuum leak. The carb and the engine, it's like it's a known vacuum leak to this motor. But if it's grabbing too much air, like it's designed to just get enough for this engine, if it's grabbing too much air, it's not doing its job by sucking out all the vapors and the internal pressures of the engine. It'll just continually loop air through there and it doesn't do its job. That would explain to me why there's an oil leak on the pan that's not really leaking. Sitting there watching it, I was underneath the car the other day, it wasn't leaking. Okay? If it was so bad, but what's happening is the pressure inside the engine is getting so bad in the lower half, it's starting to seep out the gaskets. That's what was happening to the Pontiac. The Pontiacs are really bad about it. If you don't have that PCV valve going through the grommet in the valley the way it's designed, you will absolutely destroy all your gaskets, your front and rear seal, your pan gasket, possibly valve cover gaskets if it gets enough pressure built up. Even the gasket on the valley can get blown out. They have to have it. All you guys out there that just run a cap over here and cap over here, you're hurting your engine. You have to have some kind of way to evac those gases and pressures out of that engine. That's what the PCV valve, crankcase ventilation system. So if you don't have that, you're hurting your engine. You're killing your frickin', you're killing your economy, you're killing everything. The other way you can do that is with like I would do with a race engine, like I used to do with my derby motors and my race engines. I ran evac lines from right here on your valve covers, through a grommet and a valve cap back to my headers, and that, that's gives it an automatic flow of all the pressures coming out and going out the exhaust. Same thing, the only thing is the PCV is going back through the carburetor, the ignition and everything, and it's reburning it. That way it's, good for the atmosphere, which is probably a good thing, but you need to run that PCV valve. Ford's like a PCV and one, breather on one side, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So we need to get that EGR valve off this thing. I'm going to get this carburetor off this thing. I've got all kinds of new gaskets, new stuff. We're going to figure this one out because right now I can't run it's so bad I cannot run my vacuum canister. I replaced it, but it just don't like it, is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and get the carb off. We'll get that EGR off, and I'm gonna seal it with a piece of metal, some kind of RTV, probably a red. I might try black, but red is a higher temp. It's expensive as all hell, 16 bucks a freaking tube. But we'll use it. It's not like we won't use it. So let's get in here. So these Edelbrock 400 intakes are designed for your 2V heads. Ford has 2V heads, 4V heads, 2 and 4 barrel basically. These are designed to go on 2V heads, which is what these are. Even in the Torino it was a 2 barrel, but see how that intake plenum is? I really, really do not like that design at all. So what you do is, kind of like you do on, like I did on Artemis, is you take a square bore to spread bore plate, not the adapter, the plate, and you put that down here first. That'll cover all your bases and, you know, suction, you know, push down so you don't have any leaks on the bottom, which this one did, believe it or not. I must have missed that vacuum leak, but it flattens down on these edges, that way nothing gets by it. And then you put your adapter, you know, put it like a 1-inch spacer on top of it, or you can put the carburetor right on it, doesn't matter. I'd prefer to use a spacer, and I got a new spacer. I got a whatever, you know, the black plastic bastard. So we're gonna clean this up. I'm gonna get these out. They came with new studs. These are these cheap Spectra. These things, they're horrible, guys. They're friggin' horrible. Do not use them at all. They are the worst on the market. I know a lot of people don't like the Mr. gaskets because they put that little stamp right here, and sometimes that'll leak. And you can fill them with, I can show you one if you want, but I don't have the time. But you can fill that in with like JB Weld and smooth it out, and that'll help some. But I've never really had a problem out of those. But these go straight in the garbage, or not. I'll just leave them there so they go through a tire. But yeah, what we're going for is right here. There's our PCV valve. It's sucking, and there's, you know, ports for oil and air and everything that this PCV valve sucks out of. And this, if it's leaking, will have air that goes directly to it instead of it pulling all the vapors from the inside of the crankcase. So we're gonna pop this off of here, and it looks like somebody's already used some red or some orange, probably orange, because, you know, that's the way. And we'll get this off of here, and if I could, I'd make a plate block that sumbitch off completely. I might be able to do that with something. We'll look into that in just a little bit. But first of all, we need to get some rags in here so nothing gets down in there. But I do love this design. Just, I don't like this. They should have made a perfect, you know, base. But hey, they still make them exactly like this, so, you know, maybe it's fine. Who knows? But let me get the stuff to get that EGR off. Oh yeah, this thing was leaking like a sieve. Man, while we're back here, I think we'll go ahead and change this. I've got a new line, copper line, for this oil pressure sender, because it's no good. We just need to get this thing blocked off somehow. Is that the same size as the frickin' fuel pump? I think it is. I've got a fuel pump block off for this. I wonder if that'll work on that. We don't have to put that piece of shit back on there at all. Huh. Alright, let me do some digging. It is identical. I just have to drill out one hole, clean that up, and I have a gasket. Yeah, this thing was leaking like a sieve. It was sucking her right up into the damn combustion chamber. So that is an air leak from hell. So we need to drill one out to be 3/8 bolt, and I'll have to shave a little bit off of one side for the intake, because there ain't no use having this. I mean, it's just another damn gasket. We could just stick that on there. Ain't using it. So let me drill this out and do a little fabricating in the pissed off type of way, and we'll just stick this back together with a couple regular bolts, and that should be it. We can go on to putting on the carburetor stuff. And there we have it. One fuel block off plate with gasket, custom fit with EGR. I may still get some goop to put on that, I don't know. But while we're in here, you see how brown this is turning? Yeah, that's gonna break at some point. These are not good for long term, guys, at all, especially race applications. So much heat in the engine compartment. These are great for a putter or if you're just messing around, but you really need to not use these. I've got a copper one for it, and I think we're gonna stick it on while I'm under here. But I hope that'll work. It looks like there's enough. I don't know. I may have to get some of that high heat stuff and just throw it on there, because it don't feel like that gasket right there is. I don't think it is. I don't think it's actually on I can pull on it. Maybe we need to get some gasket material while we're at it. Yep. I'm not even taking a chance on that. We're gonna buy some gasket material. But while we're under here, let's get this thing done. This is not good. That's turning colors. That's getting ready to crack. So let me get that out of there. Okay. So ran that through there. I'm gonna tie this up with something. You might be wondering, why did I leave this coil in there? Because normally I won't, but just because a lot of times anymore with this Equus shit, I don't trust it. Maybe I need to start looking into something else, because I know the temperature gauges are 10 degrees off. They read 10 degrees hotter than the actual motor is. So I left that coil on there and put a new end piece on it, ran it in. We should be good. So just tie this up to something, maybe a zip tie or something like that. That way it kind of stays put. But while I'm in here, I'm just kind of checking all this stuff. Really, that could be a leak. These could be a leak. All these need plugged off that I'm not using. That's the main one, which feeds the canister. We want that on there. And this goes into there. I think we're going to trade this. This is your transmission. Goes to your whatchamacallit, through that thing down there that makes it shift. This is going somewhere else. We're gonna run that direct to vacuum. I think it gets it off of this. So yeah, if that's too big, is that too big? It's too big. That's fine. But anyway, you get the idea. We're gonna do some switch-o changing around here, because ain't no use to having that block. I did spray it. Now that could be a leak right there too. See how that's collapsing? We'll check it. Not a big deal. But like I said, we got to get this. It's fine for now. Now let's address this little dude right here. Since I left it open completely, so shit could fall in it. But we need to get these out. I'm going to use the ones that come with the kit I got. We need to clean it up a little better, and then I got a plate to put on it. So okay, this is the plate that I have. It actually came off of this car, but it cuts off part of the housing or the intake, and I put it on there and it cuts off part of the intake. So luckily O'Reilly's has the plate I need, same one that I put on there. Is it absolutely necessary on this car? Probably not. Again, this is to, if you have a spread bore style intake from Edelbrock, Holley, Weiland, it don't matter, pick your poison. If they have it set up to you can run your original Quadrajet on these aftermarket intakes, well then it's wide, and you will get on the back side of the intake, especially with a, you know, a regular square bore, you'll get a leak at the back. The old thing has happened for years. They've never fixed it because this is the fix. See how it's wider at the back, narrower at the front. That way it goes down and it sits on that plenum, I guess that's what it's called, of the intake where your carburetor sits, and it will crush down and seal it well. That way whenever you put a gasket on this and then say a spacer or your carburetor, that bottom is nice and solid, because it's a pretty firm piece of steel. But I need to run town, and I'll get that other one, and then I'll also get some red high heat gunk, because I'm going to take that gasket back off there and I'm going to goop her up. Anyway, Bonnie still likes having flat tire. And that ain't good, because if I don't get Artemis done here in the next few days, that's plan B for this plan A. The plan B for this plan A is over there somewhere. Here's my plate. It is an Edelbrock 2732. This fit over the top and it will sink this down to the intake. A lot better seal than just having a gasket, unless you get a thicker gasket, but we'll just play it safe. I already got my new studs in. So we take flat gasket like so, and it goes on. Then we take our plate, which is, by the way, for both bolt patterns, small one and the big one. This actually needs to go on the Buick, so we may get another one right down on there like that. And the other flat gasket, okay, I should say open gasket, open plenum, like that. And then we got our philologic, whatever the hell. This will help with heat soak. Really helps with heat soak. And it comes with two gaskets, but they're both, you know, have the ports. We don't need the ports. And these are really nice gaskets. You can get these on Amazon for about, I don't know, 26 bucks, $27. So then you put your base on, like so, nice and tight, just like that, and that will seat against that plate, and that is a nice open area. It's perfect. And this goes on, no restrictions whatsoever. Okay. So here's the difference. See that? Vacuum will fluctuate with the big ass hog cam, you know, that's in this thing. But it shouldn't just flutter back and forth. It was jumping like 10. It was jumping from here to here before. Now we've got that vacuum leak under control. That's what we wanted. Yeah, it's only 10. It's a big ass cam. But we got it under control. it'll still bog and block off the PVC, which is its main leak, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. It's idling great, not overheating, a little high than I like it. You know, everybody wants these thin load separation cams. They want them to idle real low with a bump, bump. You're just fighting yourself doing that. This is about where she needs to be. A little bit less than that. That way when you put it in gear, then it comes down, it's got the loper doper 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 doper. But, man, that's like a whole new car. Did hook up the vacuum advance, poured it, and set that thing to all in. She's 40 degrees. Starts at 15, 40. We can play with that a little if we want, but I think it'll be fine. I need to get this thing cleaned up, and we'll take it for a test drive, see what she does. So, I got both windows down, so it's probably noisy. It's real hard to hear in this car because of the exhaust in the cam. But I'm trying to listen for spark knocking. I think I heard a little bit. I brought an Allen wrench and a screwdriver to adjust some things while I'm out here driving. That's the best way to do it. I'm not going to hook all the crap. I can hook up a thing with a gun and say how much it's, you know, going to pull into it and adjust it that way. Best thing to do if you don't have all that crap, just drive it around. And right now, this thing's smooth as silk. Even for a big cam, she's smooth. So I'm going to turn on a highway here, and I'll see if I can't hear any spark knocking. If I do, we need to turn that thing down just a hair, which is basically tightening the diaphragm in the vacuum advance so it don't suck so hard. But I misspoke earlier. I actually have this on manifold, not ported. Pre-ignition. So we'll get on a side road and I'll take a couple. I'll start with one turn. We'll try it, and then we'll see if that cleans it up, and if that don't, we'll stop and do another turn. Basically, we'll get that sweet spot and she'll be fine. So let me do some things, drive around, do some adjusting. Let's see what we can come up with. Good news, Blanche one's great. Real great. She's giving me a warning. Explained to her what I was doing. Really nice cop. Illinois State Police are good people. So, anyway, well, she's tuned. So, I guess I'll take her home. It's the first time I've been pulled over in a long time. This made my day, actually. It's just like, wow. Anyway, nice people, warning. Back home. Well, successful test. Met a nice officer that asked me about hot rod power tour in the car. All went well, got a warning. It was just a split second earlier or later, and it wouldn't have happened because I literally was just cruising 55 mile an hour, and I tromped on it to see what it would do. Nobody in front of me. And she was coming at me. That's fine, that's my fault. They're just doing their job. I did turn the vacuum advance in, tightened it about, I'm thinking it was about 3/4. So she's right on. Idle's good, runs good, starts good. So that's that. She's tuned and sealed. Now I got a few more things I need to do. Hood popper. Okay, I'm gonna put this hood popper in. It's kind of a pain in the butt. You got to take some things loose on the inside, but we'll get that. That's it. I ain't doing no more at all. Just check things over, make sure everything's greased. And this car's ready. I think should be fine. All right, let me get this done. Had this damn thing forever. Nice little hood popper. Oh yeah. Now we're good. Greased up the hinges, the hood. Comes up nice and smooth. Goes down nice and smooth. all these little things. I need to get the volt gauge hooked up to battery power, get the wires cleaned up. I need to go get a CB and an antenna, figure out how I'm going to do that. I think that's it. I think. Well, everything's ready to hook up, but I need to get a CB in here before, that way I know where it's going to go. I'm putting in that little power box of mine that I like putting in these for phones and Zeppy's, whatever, his tablet, whatever he's going to bring over. We got charging in there. So I got to wire that, but I want to get the CB in where it's going to go before I do that. But that way I don't put that thing in the way, and then I'm just drilling extra holes. So we'll go get something to eat. Go get to spend a lot of time as a family since we've been trying to get ready for this. So we'll all go get something to eat and grab the CB and stuff and a wire, and we'll get her wired up. Well, we need to go get diesel and a dimmer switch. Yep, that's the one that was in Artemis, but we found a different one for Artemis, and Amber wanted it. Got her all mounted in. We even got dome lights working. We're doing good, ain't we, buddy? All right, we got to go get a dimmer switch, so what?
We'll show you Artemis' CV later.
Yeah, we'll show you Artemis' CV later. All right, let's hit the road. Stuff in here. I think we're ready to roll. Except for all the holes in the floorboards, fenders, truck bed. I think we'll be alright. So Zeppy and I are changing out the headlights, giving them a little brighter ones, and then we happened to take this off, and besides broke both of these rings. They're both junk, so I have to find some new ones. Look at that. That is what Blanche looked like before she faded over time. That is like a ridiculous gold. Like, holy shit, gold. You can see the faded and then what it really was. And this is nice and smooth where this isn't. And I've cleaned this up as much as I can. What's that?
Hopefully with the clear coat it gets all of the faded away.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see, but pretty much done. We'll put this bezel back on, and no, we are not changing this side where Blanche has her black eye. We're just not. We're going to leave it just the way we found it.
Leaving the black
Yeah. Anyway, well, other than a few little things, clean it up a little better, get those new headlight bezel things, but I ain't doing anything else. She's ready for power tour. We do have Poppy's patina for it, but I have got to get to work on Artemis. I got to start tearing that thing apart, and hopefully one way or the other you see all this together, or a little late, or something. But regardless, I hope they're both on power tour. I hope both of them are, because that was the plan to begin with. If I get time, we will clear coat this car, and if I get time, I will clear coat this car, but as of right now, I don't have time. It's a week. This is my last day off until next Saturday before we leave. I got 1 week and I got to work the whole week. I cannot take off. So that is that. Thank you all very much. Please like and subscribe. Thanks to O'Reilly's and everybody who found parts for this car. Thank you, ACC Performance, with your Boss Hog torque converters. That's awesome. Awesome. Make sure you go check out all their stuff on YouTube. Plus, you know, you can find them at just about everywhere. They pretty much make all the torque converters that you think are the greatest torque converters. So, hit them up. See what they got. Maybe they can help you out. This thing's ready to go. I'll see you on the tour. Oh yeah, check out the CB and Artemis. Oh, shit. Breast cancer awareness. Heck yeah.